C language. So when I teach programming language to students, what I advise is like learn C language, then go for C++, okay, then go for Java language in that way, step by step. C language, C++, Java in that way. But see, in PU board and in degree university board, they will keep the syllabus in some manner. But we should know how to learn. That's all. Okay. We will not blame those people, but we should know how to learn. Okay. So keeping that in mind, you just look at this screen. C++ began an expanded version of C language. Okay, that means C before C++ language, there exists a language called as C programming language. Okay. So expanded version of C language only itself is C++ language. Okay. So when we say like that, after C++, we should not say C language is outdated, because if you learn C++ perfectly, if you learn C language perfectly, learning C++ will become very easy. So we should not say like C language is outdated, or C++ is outdated when Java has evolved like that. Okay. So C++ extensions were first invented by this person, that is B. Jarney Sturstrup, in 1979 at Bell Laboratories in New Jersey. That is nothing but in America. Okay. So some say 1979 and some authors say like in 1980s. Okay, that is between 1980 and 1990, or some say like between 1970 and 1980. Okay. Yes. So initially, this language was called as C with classes. You observe this word; it is called as C with classes. The meaning of that is C language was there. For that, classes concept was added. For C language itself, classes concept was added. Okay. So that language is called as C with classes. Classes concept was not present for C language. It was added to C language, so it is called as C with classes. In 1983, this name was that means it is changed to C++. So till then, it was called as C with classes. Okay. Afterwards, now we are calling it as C++. We are not calling it as C with classes. We are calling it as C++. See, since C++ was first invented, it has undergone three major revisions with each adding to and altering the language. Because see, whenever we invent something like some product or some machines, if you consider mobiles also, so if they add new features, then what it will become like new version, we can say. In case of Android mobiles also, we will say new versions of mobiles. Similarly, for languages also, for softwares also, if something is added new, then we can call it as new versions. So in 1985, first version in the sense for C++ only something they have added. In 1990, second. So third occurred during the standardization of C++, that is ANSI ISO standard. So that means this standard C++ is called as ANSI ISO, American National Standard Institute. ISO means International Standard Organization. Okay, they formed the committee for that. Okay, and in 1998, so this C++, this specification of for C++ is commonly referred to as standard C++. Okay. So the version of C++ created by ANSI ISO standard committee is one that is currently accepted by all major compilers. Okay. So this is about history of C++. See, important thing to know in history of C++ is who invented and where it is invented. Okay, and initially what it is called. Okay. So initially what it is called, later what it was renamed. So that much if you remember, it's enough. Okay. Now we will go to the another chapter with respect to C++, that is input output streams, nothing but input output operators. Okay. Okay. See, to learn C++ programming language, that is object-oriented concept, before we go to the object-oriented concepts, we should know about input-output streams, because IO operations exist for all programming languages. IO operations means input-output operations. So in this, we can call it as like input-output streams, or we can call it as input-output statements, or operators. By three names you can call: input output streams, input output statements, input output operators. So here we will come to know step by step what is the stream, how many types of streams are there, and what is a statement or what is an operator. Okay. So first thing, what is a stream? So we have to know what is a stream here. See, stream is a flow of bytes from source to destination. See, generally, stream means in English language something like flowing. For flowing, we will call it as a stream. Generally, if you consider like air or water, if it flows in one path, that is called as a stream. Same concept they have used in programming language, that is computer science. Here we will not call it as flow of water or air, it is flow of bytes. Okay, why we are calling it as bytes means computer memory is made of bits, nothing but bytes. 8 bits makes 1 byte. So computer memory is made up of bits and bytes. So it is called as flow of bytes from source to destination. So whenever we say there is a flow, so something is going, so we have to say from where to where. So similarly here also. Okay. Next, in stream we have two types: input stream and output stream. Okay. So the name itself tells input stream means we have to consider input device. So the definition says it is the flow of bytes from an input device to a computer program. Stream means general concept, flow of bytes from source to destination. Input stream means flow of bytes from an input stream to computer program. Here input stream is nothing, but we can consider like input unit. So when you consider input unit, you can consider all the input devices like keyboard, mouse, OMR, OCR, like that, optical mark reader, character reader, all the input devices you can consider. But here, specifically, we have considered input device as the keyboard. Okay, that is to learn C and C++ programming languages. We have considered input stream as that is input device as a keyboard. So flow of bytes from an input device to a computer program. Next, coming to the output stream. So it is also a flow of bytes. Okay, from computer program to an output device. Okay, so input stream means from input device to a computer program. Output stream means from a computer program to an output device. So this is about the definition of input stream and output stream. Next, so where it is used, that we have to know. So where this input stream and output streams are used in a program. See, we write the header file hash include IO stream.h. Okay. So whenever we write C++ program, we write the header file hash include IO stream.h. So in this, see the statements beginning with hash symbol or the directives for the preprocessor. See, we should know what is hash symbol and what does the word include mean. What is IO stream? Okay, so here hash meaning preprocessor directive. Okay, hash meaning preprocessor directive. Why it is called preprocessor directive means because C++ program execution starts from the main function. So if you look at this program, see, you just look at this program, any program if you consider, C++ program execution starts from the main. If I say execution starts from the main, then why we have written these two statements? Generally we get a question. If I am telling execution starts from the main, then before main only there are some lines. So if I say execution starts from the main, at this line you can say process or processing. Execution is nothing but processing, doing some work. So processing starts from the main function. Then before this line only some lines are present. Will they work or not? Yes, they will also work. When? That is the question. When it will work? After the main or during the main function or before the main function? So we should get a question. Because I have said that programming starts from that is processing starts from the main. So these two lines work before the main. So only it is called as pre. See, whenever we say before, it is nothing but pre. If I say final exam, before the final exam, if we keep one exam, that is called as pre-final exam. Similarly, if I say processing starts from the main, before the main function, some statements are executed in C and C++ program. Those statements are called as pre-processor statements. And this hash symbol is called as preprocessor directive. Okay, so now we will see this explanation. The statements beginning with hash or the directives for the preprocessor. The directive or the command hash include iostream.h causes the preprocessor to add the contents of iostream file to a program. See, when we write a C++ program, okay, so when we write a C++ program, we know that we write cout statement, cin statement. Generally, if we don't write cin, at least we write cout statement, because at least if we display one message on the screen, then we will come to know like our program has worked. So if you get the blank screen in the output, what we think, so our program has not worked. That means it is blank. At least if you write one message, then we can say program is working. So generally we write cout statement. See, this cout means C stands for console, OUT stands for output, nothing but output operation. C is a console, OUT stands for output, it is an output operation. Similarly, we have one more statement called as CIN. C stands for console, IN stands for input. It is nothing but console input. It is nothing but an input operation. So cout means output operation, CIN means input operation. So we are doing two operations here, input, output. So you look at this header file name, will come to know why they have kept IO stream. So I stands for input, O stands for output. So in order to make use of these input and output operations in our program, then we have to include this header file iostream.h. So they're telling the directive or the command hash include iostream.h causes the preprocessor to add the contents of iostream file to a program. It contains the declarations of the identifiers cout and cin. So without hash include iostream.h header file, cout and cin statements will not work in our program. You can try it, you will get an error. And along with this cout and cin statement, two operators we got. So this operator is called as insertion operator, and one more operator we have that is called as extraction operator, or you can call it as input operator. For insertion operator, you can call it as output operator. For extraction, you can call it as input operator. Okay, so the header file iostream.h should be included at the beginning of all programs that use input output statements or input output operators or input output streams, statements, streams, operator. So you can call anything, but there is a difference, slight difference. I'll tell you. Okay, now we will see in detail of this header file. So what all the things we have included. See here. Hash means preprocessor directive. Okay, I stands for input, O stands for output, stream means flow bytes, H stands for header. So if you consider total statement iostream.h, that is one file. See, whenever you put the extension, by looking at the extension only, we should identify the type of the file. See, for example, if I say .doc, see, if I say a.doc, this is nothing but word file, or you can say document file. If I say a.xls, okay, this is nothing but MS Excel file. Okay, similarly, if I say iostream.h means header file. Okay, so in this way we have to identify the type of the file. Okay, by looking at the extension after dot, whatever you are putting, that will indicate the type of the file. doc means document file, xls means excel file, .h means header file. Okay, now coming to the document. So cout stands for console output, cin stands for console input. So this operator is called as insertion operator, or you can call it as output operator, and this operator is called extraction operator, or you can call it as input operator. So from hash include iostream.h, what are the things we came to know is like hash is called as preprocessor directive, include is the general word of English, which indicates to include all the contents of iostream.h header file, because when we write the program, okay, so when we write the program, what happens, two files we have to consider. Two files means one with the .cpp, okay, another with the .h. Remember, .cpp, .h. .cpp means it is header file. Sorry, .cpp means it is C++ file that we are going to write. Okay, and .h means it is header file. Okay, two files you have to consider, .cpp and .h, C++ and header file. See what we do, header file, remember this concept, header file will be included in C++ file. It is not reverse. C++ file will not be included in header file. Header file will be included in C++ file. And if you look at the header file contents, those are the statements of C++ language only, but it is separate file. Okay, two separate files you have to consider, .cpp, .h. .h file contents are included in C++ file. So whenever we save the file, we should not save it as .h, .cpp only. Okay, .cpp is C++, right? In this file, two contents are included. That is header file contents and our program contents. Our program contents means starting from the main line. So that is nothing but starting from main. So our program content starts from main function. Before that, header file is included. Okay. So depending on the working, we have to include the header files. If I'm using statements like cout and seal, then header file is IO str iostream.h. If I'm using the functions like clr, scr and getch, then header file is co.nio.h. Okay. Depending on the operations, we should know which header file should be used. Okay. Okay. Next, so we will see in detail of standard output, that is cout. So what is the syntax? How we should work on that? We will see in detail. Okay, because generally while learning C language, also students what they do, like they will come to know like printf and scanf statement should be used in every program, and they know how to use that. But syntax, you should know syntax. Syntax is like formula. So if you know the formula only, you can solve the problems in mathematics. Similarly, if you know the syntax in programming languages, you can write programs very easily. And you should know what is the purpose of that. See, here cout is also called as object. So it is called as statement plus object. It is linked to the screen. Screen means monitor. Okay. Why it is linked to screen means because OUT word only tells output. So output means output stream, nothing but output device. Here output device we are considering monitor, nothing but a screen. You can call it as a screen or a monitor. See, many output devices are there, but here right now you consider like a screen, that is the monitor. Console output means you have to consider the monitor screen. Next, the cout statement inserts sequence of characters into the standard output stream such as monitor. Okay. See, the word, from the word inserts only, you have to remember this operator name, because insertion operator, extraction operator, we may feel confusion. While writing operators, we will not feel confusion, but while calling that term, we may feel confusion. Okay. How we have to remember insertion means it inserts the characters on the screen. How we have to remember extraction is it extracts the characters from the keyboard. Keyboard means input device. Monitor means output device. Okay. So inserts the character on the screen. Okay. Such as monitor. Next. So we will see how it works. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. See, look here. There is a term called syntax in programming language. So we have to remember the syntax, then only we can write the statements of that concept. Okay. Now for cout, what is the syntax? So it starts from the word cout. You have to write in lowercase letters only. You should not write any letter of the cout in capital letter. One more thing is you should not give space also. You should not write in capital letter, you should not leave space, or you should not put underscore, nothing. So COUT, all small letters without space. So immediately after cout, you have to use the insertion operator. Without insertion operator also you can write, that is cout.width, cout.fill functions. Some functions are there with respect to cout statement. But right now we will consider we have to use insertion operator in front of cout statement. So after writing insertion operator, next thing is, see, there is a string or an argument or a manipulator. Three things you can use in cout statement: string or an argument or a manipulator. So how to use that we should know. See, the thing is, three things are there: string, argument, manipulator, right? You can use all three, or you can use only two, or you can use only one. Remember, you can use all the three in one statement, or any two, or any one. But minimum thing is one. That is either the string or an argument or a manipulator. Okay, that is after cout statement, after writing insertion operator, either you use the string or a argument or a manipulator, or you can use any two, or you can use all the things. Without writing any string or an argument or a manipulator, just if you put cout insertion operator semicolon, you'll get an error. So that is in some See, by mistake, we might write like this. That is, if I write COUT, insertion operator, semicolon. So if I write like this, you'll get an error. At least you should use one thing, okay? Okay. So next, if we are using two things or three things like string arguments or string manipulator or all the three, then how to use? You see here. See, if you are using first string, then if you want to use argument, in between string and argument, put a insertion operator. And after using argument, if you are using manipulator, in between argument and a manipulator, have to put the insertion operator. That means if you are using more than one, that is two things, strings arguments or arguments manipulator or string manipulator, in between two things, you have to put an insertion operator. Okay. If you're using only one, then one insertion operator. If you're using two things, two insertion operator. That is, after cout, one insertion operator. After string, another insertion operator. So in this way, you have to use. And one more thing is, you can use in any order. See, in the syntax, I have written first string. It is not that you should use always first string only. You can use in any order. But when you're using all the things, you see that you place insertion operator in between the things. Okay. Now coming to the explanation of insertion operator, what it is. Insertion operator, or it is also called as output operator. So two less than symbols you have to use continuously without a space. Okay. It is also called as left shift operator in operators concept. See, the output operator or an insertion operator inserts the string or a value of an argument into the screen. The object cout is used along with the insertion operator. See, in this example, we will come to know how we are using. Okay. So you just see what we have done here. Okay. So I have written two header files, iostream.h and conio.h. So IO means input output, conio means console input output. Okay. So in the main function, I have written one statement, cout statement. Okay. See, you just compare with the syntax, you will come to know. So what is the syntax? Write cout word without a space and in lowercase letters. You should not write any letter in capital letter. After immediately after writing cout, you should write the insertion operator. After writing insertion operator, either you can write a string or an argument or a manipulator. So what I have done here, I have written the string. You just consider these words. Welcome to C++. This is the string. Why we have to call this a string means because I have put in the double quotation marks. If you write in double quotation marks, it is called as a string. By mistake, if you remove the double quotation marks, it is not called as a string. Okay, it is not called string. It is called as an argument or a manipulator. So depending on the things you have to call, depending on the situations you have to call either an argument or a manipulator. But if you put in double quotes, it is called as a string. So what happens when we put in double quotes is on the output it is printed as it is without any change. If you observe the output without any change, it is printed. If you have written in capital letters, it will print in capital letters. If you have written in lowercase letters, it is printed in lowercase letters. If you leave blank spaces in between, it will display blank spaces. If you use any symbols in between, say, for example, welcome to, if I say dollar, so in the output also it is printed dollar like this. Without any change, it is printed. Okay. That is the concept in string. Okay. Next. So coming to the next problem. So we will see what we have done here. So in between, if you people get any doubt, you can speak. Okay, you can unmute from your side and you can speak. Okay. So now coming to the next program. So what I have done in this program is I have used three cout statements. If you observe, three cout statements. But in the output, if you see only in one line, the message is there, right? So that is welcome to C++. So we should know why it is like that. I have used three cout statements, but in the output only one thing is there. That means it doesn't matter how many cout statements you use in the program, but in addition to the message string, one more thing should be used. That is either the \n or the manipulator called as endl. If you use either \n or endl, then in the output you can expect the messages in separate lines. But here I have not used either endl, okay, or \n. So I have not used it. So only if you look at the word welcome to C++, it is appeared in the single line. Okay, so what happens here is after the first cout statement is executed, that is after printing the word welcome, it looks for two things, that is either \n or this one end. If any of these two things are there, then whatever the things present in the next cout statement, it is printed on the next screen. Okay, otherwise what happens, whatever the things present in the next cout statement, it will appear on the same line in the output. So you have to look at the output. Okay, in program it is present in three separate lines, but in output after the word welcome, we can expect the word to, and after the word to, after the string to also, there is no \n or there is no end. So only even C++ language, this word also appears on the same line. Okay, I hope you people are getting here. Okay, if we don't use \n or end, so all the messages will appear in single line. Okay, so next program, so we will see what changes we have done when compared with the previous program. Okay. See here. See, in the first cout statement, I have used word welcome. Immediately after word welcome, I have used \n. But if you observe, all the things have put in double quotes only. So when you put in double quotes, it is called a string. So according to the string, what I said in the first program, everything should be printed as it is, what I said like. Okay, but here if you observe the output, in the first line, it is printed welcome. After welcome, actually, we would expect like \n, but there are some characters, those characters will not print. Those are called as non-printable characters. That is, if we start the character with the \ symbol, after the \, if we write the character, that character will not be displayed. There are some characters in programming language we cannot use as we like. See, for example, after \, if I want to use like capital letter M, so it is not allowed like that. There are some characters, those characters only we have to use, like \n, \r, \t like that. So here \n will not print. Then what it will do? It will take the mouse control to the next line in the output, not in the program, in the output. So you see the word to is printed on the next line. So instead of printing on the same line, it is printed on the next line. And again, after the word to, we have \n. Same process. N means new line. So in the output, it will take the mouse control to the next line. Then C++ language. So it is printed. See, after C++ language, in the program, we don't have any more statements. So I have not written either \n or end. Okay. Next. So next program. See, what I have done in the next program is, see, we can write all the things in one line. That is, all three cout statements in one line, but output will be same. There is nothing change in the output. So for that purpose, what we have to do? You see, you just compare with the previous program. So in the previous program, I have written welcome \n. So same thing you write welcome \n. Immediately after \n, you can write the word to. Okay. Then after word to, you write \n. Immediately after \n, you write C++ language. So what happens is, welcome will be printed. When it comes across \n, the mouse control will move to the next line in the output. It will print the word to. Again, when it comes across \n, move to the next line. Okay. Then it is printed C++ language. So in this way, you can write in one statement by using \n wherever you need. Okay. Understood? Okay. Next, see, in the next program, what I have done is, instead of using \n, even we can use one more option, that is endl. Endl means end the line. Okay, so whatever the working process is there for \n, same thing it will happen. So you can see the output. There is nothing changed in the output, but the way I have written the program, it is changed. So in first cout statement, what I have done? The word welcome and endl. See, for endl, I have not put double quotes. Okay, if you put double quotes, it is treated as again string. Okay, what happens is, in the output, it will appear endl because you have put double quotes. So if you put double quotes, it is treated as string. It is printed as it is. So what you have to do for endl, you should not put double quotes. If you don't put double quotes, it is treated as manipulator. Okay, manipulator means which manipulates, which process, which works. So what work it is doing? Same as new line character. So it will take mouse control to the next line in the output. So only, so whenever it comes across endl, whatever the message present in the next cout statement, it is printed on the next line in the output 2. And again, after word 2, I have used endl. Same thing, whatever the message present in the next cout statement, it is printed on the next line. So after C++ language, that is after third cout statement, we don't have any more statements. So no need to use backslash or endl for the third cout statement. Okay. Okay, so before I go to the next concept, that is argument concept. So if you people have any doubts still here, you can ask. So after 2 minutes, it will reconnect. So you can be online only. So till then, if you have any doubts, you can ask. So if people be online only, it will reconnect within a minute.